You guys, I'm not going to lie. Our reputation took a big, big hit when Dave tried to push out some fake news. But I'm building it back. Breaking news myself, brick by brick, baby. Let's go. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. As always, we are presented to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Marlborough. I'm joined by Dave, Andrew, Kevin. Had to work, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, he's not here, but he'll be back next week. Thanks to everybody for watching us on the live stream on Twitch right now. I can see Jerry. I can see Bulldog Saint. I see Jason Champagne, Budrich, your boy Alan, Andrew's dad, and a lot more. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Dave's daughter is here.
Yeah, that's
also.
right. Dave's daughter. Thank God she looks like his wife and not him.
Hi.
Hi.
They said hi.
Yeah.
Good night. Love you.
On tonight's show, besides Dave's kids just barging in like Kramer on Seinfeld, we're going to talk about the Saints hiring an offensive coordinator, firing Doug Marrone. We're going to go through the dumbest Saints salary cap takes, because there were many of them after the Derek Carr extension. Demario Davis won the MVP at the Pro Bowl, plus your questions. But before we start, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. And I also have to mention about our MVP contest. Listener Vince in Maine sent us a signed Deuce McAllister jersey. So we're going to raffle that thing off. Weekly MVPs get their shot at having a signed jersey from a Saints legend. If we reach $100 in donations tonight, the MVP will choose which minibar bottle from my gigantic minibar collection I'm going to poison myself with. I want to tease something before I get to all the different shots that I may or may not do tonight. I want to tease something. Me and Thomas are working on it. Next week, I potentially will do the most disgusting thing I've ever done on this podcast for money. Just putting that tease out there. So tonight, ginger whiskey, that's disgusting. Baska Drapur, that was from a listener sent from Sweden. I've done this before. This is extra disgusting. And just to know, Andrew, I accidentally opened it, and it's been sitting open, and it smells even worse than I remember it. And it's gigantic. That one.
Well, that's going to be what you do first.
And this
that's
one's
decided.
This was from my boyfriend that I stole from Dave, Keith. It's peanut butter and raspberry jelly whiskey.
Wait, so you have 3 options tonight?
I have 3 options tonight for the people.
Wow.
So consider donating via Stream Elements by typing !donate in the chat and click the link that appears. Twitch takes about 50% cut when you donate using bits. So this way you can spend less and it's easier to get me drunk. It's win-win. Even Andrew can do it. And remember, the best $20 you can spend on the internet are text-to-speech, $20. You donate $20. The British guy, whatever you type, he says it interrupts the show. So do it. Thomas, do we have an MVP leader already?
Not yet, unfortunately. Hatchet John won last week with 76 buckaroos, so we are still waiting for the MVP leader this week.
You know, I feel like your cat, with the number of times she's interrupted the show,
That's right,
probably owes us like $60 at this point.
Yeah, it was a cat to text segment. So I'm drinking strawberry whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry whiskey, and Hard Hide, of course. And this is interesting. maple lemonade. I have the diabetes. Just having this on my table, I have the diabetes. What are you drinking tonight, Dave?
Interesting. I made myself a little tiki cocktail. I am drinking
back on the tiki wagon.
I'm back on the tiki wagon just for now. I'll switch over to beer after this. This is a what did I say it was? Not a Port-au-Prince. It's a Jungle Bird. It's a Jungle Bird.
Okay.
Rum, pineapple juice, lime juice, and Campari.
Sounds good.
It is a little bit of a dry take on tiki.
Andrew, what are you drinking tonight?
I made myself a homemade old fashioned.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm enjoying that. And I'm back on the wagon. I mean, I kind of half-assed dry January, but it's February now. So, and hey, happy Mardi Gras, everybody.
Happy Mardi Gras, everybody. You know, everybody, there's no parades tonight, but it's been a.
They start again.
Making it rain.
They start again tomorrow. Some people call it the Deep Gras. I'm not going to call it that, but some people call it that. But I'm actually going to be riding. So I want to put this out there now. I'll be riding Saturday afternoon in Tux. One of the city's great parades.
My friend was king of Tux.
Really? Who's that?
Frank
Well, I guess maybe-
Westella.
Okay. What year was that?
It was a long time ago.
Oh,
He's still
okay.
in there. He's still in the parade.
Yeah, I'm sure. Cool. Maybe one day that'll be me. So if you're going to be in New Orleans, if you're going to Mardi Gras, if you're going to be out there on Saturday, right now the weather looks like it's going to be awesome. It's going to looks like it's going to be about as good as it was this past weekend. Tux, I'm going to be float 7B. Goodness gracious, my balls are on fire. Float 7B, top level, neutral ground side, riders 3 and 4, me and my wife. My wife. And I believe we're going to be either right in front of or right behind the Saints players float. So maybe we'll get to.
So this is a co-ed crew.
Yeah, it's a co-ed crew. So I'm
Are
going
you,
to say
is
that.
this a Metairie parade? Is it New Orleans?
No. Oh my Jesus! Mute him. Can you mute him?
Yeah,
please?
it's been a while. It's been a while.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I used to ride in Argus, which was a Metairie parade that went down. I'm still not sure I follow.
Right. Anyway, so I'm going to put this out though for our fans, our listeners. If you're going to Tux, make a sign, make a funny Saints related happy hour, Saints happy hour podcast related sign, and I'll load up a few special gifts for those people that have
send
signed.
us a picture. Send Thomas.
Interception! Matt Ryan!
Back on my draft prospect BS. Mock draft mania to fix the Saints offense. Dave is only king of fake news.
Thanks, Marge, for
Nice.
20 buckaroos and new
Dave is
MVP
the king.
leader.
By the way, if you are a patron, you got me and Kevin. Me and Kevin did a 90-minute
Jesus.
mock draft.
Was crazy.
90-minute 4-round mock draft. It's everything you
Did you
dreamed
get
it
us
would
the
ever-
quarterback?
No. I gave Kevin the task of saving DA's job, and he traded down like 9 times. And had
Spoiler alert: he didn't.
he didn't.
Dave, tell me about your route. St. Charles.
Yes, we are the traditional uptown route. We are one of the larger parades. We follow Iris, which is an
you follow
all-female.
Okay.
Yeah, an all-female crew, which is very big and still growing. So Saturday is one of the best. I think
always
one of
get
the better
Tux
parade
and
days.
Toth confused.
Toth is Sunday. Toth is Sunday morning. I love Toth too. We're a big Toth family. We always go uptown for Toth. Anyway, so if you're going to be out for Tux, come look for me. Make a sign. I'll make sure I have something special for Saints Happy Hour from our Happy Casters.
And send Thomas the pictures, and we'll maybe put them on next show. The Happy Casters, it's never caught on as our
Well, we don't
other
use it
people
enough.
have. People want to.
I like that. I like Happy Casters
Happy
much
Caster.
more than like our fans or our listeners.
Right.
Dave, I want a T-shirt that says "Toxic Positivity." That's what.
What could I make? I'm thinking I could make shirts to give to these people. What would be good shirts to give to them?
Wasn't toxically positive? Didn't Zach Streif say that on this show about Drew Brees?
He might have.
I feel like he started that.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
I might have some buttons actually left over.
To
From
throw
the show.
people-
I'll give out some buttons.
Somebody's gonna throw somebody not on the podcast. You'll throw it to them. You'll miss them, and somebody will catch it, and they'll be like, "Fucking keep the A. What is this? Keep the A button."
No Olive Garden.
What is what? The sun never sets on the Jew Jumper. What? So
Nancy
Sa-
Reagan throat coat.
the Saints actually made news, 2 pieces of news last week.
Mhm.
They hired an offensive coordinator. Let's start there. I want to give people a
Let's
peek behind the scenes. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No.
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, I want to give people a peek behind the scenes. I won't reveal anything, Andrew, but you were texting me last Wednesday, Thursday, and it was looking a little bleak.
Yeah.
But because it was like, oh man, the Washington, they're not going to hire Ben Johnson, and it's Ruben Kubiak might go there with Dan Quinn, and then Getsy might go to Vegas. The Saints might be stuck, and they might not get their first or second choice. It's looking bleak,
Right.
but it all worked out. And Dennis Allen apparently really did get the guy he wanted all along. Did it speed up? Because all along the Saints were like, "Hey, it might not be done until after the Super Bowl. It might take part." Did anything because of the other teams? Did anything push the Saints and they kind of had "Oh crap, we got to get this over the line"? So what happened with the Kubiak hiring behind the scenes?
Yeah. Well, look, I think anytime someone says, we're not going to make the hire until after the Super Bowl, I think that's officially what the league wants you to do. And I don't think he can officially sign.
Mm-hmm.
But as we just saw this past week, you can make the announcement that it's happening and that he intends to sign somewhere, before the Super Bowl ends. So I think that's a big crock. And I think that that's something that agents use as leverage to be like, oh, we're going to wait till after the Super Bowl to squeeze teams for more money, to play interested parties off of each other. And look, we talked about this. We know all the reasons why New Orleans is maybe not the most attractive destination. And so, yeah, I mean, when Quinn was going to Washington and Kubiak was rumored to be his top offensive coordinator choice, it was looking bleak. It looked like they were going to lose out on Getsy as well after they gave him a second interview and didn't offer him the job. And apparently he was disappointed in that and then kind of considering other options. So the thing that I was fearful about was that you pass on Getsy and you kind of put all your chips in that Kubiak basket, but then he decides to move on, and then you don't get either. And then you're kind of stuck okay, well, what do we do now? And, do you end up hiring Ronald Curry, or do you start to kick the tires with Bieniemy, who just got fired, or something like that? But no, look, I don't know if Kubiak's going to work out, but they got their guy. And kudos to Mickey Loomis. Well, Mickey Loomis and Gail Benson, because Mickey Loomis was actually not involved with this hire at all. Gail Benson stroked the check. They upped the money. They made it happen. And, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but at least I think it's a big deal that you go out and you get the guy that you wanted.
Yeah. Get familiar with the term orbit motion. Apparently, the Shanahan offense runs a lot of that. So
What the hell is that?
it's where they motion the guy and he goes behind the quarterback kinda in motion, and they call it orbit motion. Get acquainted with it. But Dave, I want to ask you this. They didn't hire
We're gonna talk about the Doug Marrone thing and Andrew breaking news and all that stuff and the intro, right? I'm gonna get a chance to defend myself.
You're going to
at
get a
some
chance
point,
to
right?
defend it.
Okay, I'm
come back. But
No, I just wasn't sure at what point we were doing
but
that.
here's the thing. With the Kubiak hire that it unnerves me, Dave, is that Saints Twitter and Saints fans in general are really, really positive about this hire, and we're so positive and so united, it makes me uncomfortable. Like I kind of wish we were divided and yelling at each other and being thinking it's a terrible hire. But everybody was really pumped about the hire because it wasn't Gruden. So like that's the thing. Like everybody's so universally applauded the hire. I'm uncomfortable now with it.
Well, it's not universal. I'm not excited about it. I mean, I don't hate it. I to be honest with you, I don't really know that much about it. I mean, I read up on Kubiak. I know he's with the Niners. I think a lot of people are excited because he's from the Niners and they've had such great success offensively. And I think that's fair. But honestly, I'm worried that everybody thinks it's great. That means it's got to be terrible because there's no way that we're all right. There's no way that we are all correct and that this is a great hire. So it must be bad. I don't know. But I mean, I'm excited. Look, it's a fresh, just it could be anybody, honestly, other than Gruden, I guess I should say. But like, having a fresh slate here and starting anew and cleaning house a little bit, I think that's half of it. That's half of the excitement right there.
So should we talk about how I broke news now?
Let's go. Come on.
Let's go.
That's what I wanted to say.
You want to know?
This is ridiculous. This is a joke.
And Andrew broke news.
Go ahead. I'm going to get. Hold on. I'm going to get a drink, and I'll let Andrew lay whatever backstory he wants to lay, and then.
I do see it. It's 1974. I want turmoil. I want I want us fighting each other. But Andrew, you broke the news. Doug Marrone fired. So tell the people. Tell me
that's it. I don't really need to frame it any more than that.
Were you surprised? I mean, they said when they hired Kubiak that they could be changes, but were you surprised that Marrone kind of got the heave-ho?
Yeah, I hesitate with how much I should share. Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, obviously I found out it was going to happen, and then I heard some more stuff later, and maybe I'm not that surprised anymore. Mm-hmm. But I guess what I would say is, I think this is true of a lot of coaches. You're in a tough situation when your offensive coordinator gets fired, and then you end up someone else ends up getting hired, right, to be the offensive coordinator, and they're bringing in a new system, and then there starts to become these questions. Well, can you coach the new system? I think that's a natural occurrence. Mm-hmm. And I think it's tough as an incumbent coach when maybe you were being asked to coach something that was maybe not what you're best at. Yeah. And you were making it work because you were in a situation where you were asked to do that. And then when you're saying, hey, we should change to this, and you don't change to it, and then when the team makes the decision to finally change to it, they let you go. I can see why that's a difficult thing for a coach to kind of go through, And so I think that happens a lot in this league. And I think, with Marrone, there was a little bit of that, And so I think Marrone's a good coach. The Penning stuff was unfortunate, and I think he gets saddled with that. And right or wrong, he's responsible for Penning's development. I think a lot of people point to that, but they don't think about how far Ramczyk has come, and how far McCoy has come, and how far Cesar Ruiz has come. So Marrone has been responsible for a lot of their development, but people are quick to forget that, and they're quick to point out, James Hurst has come a long way, from being a journeyman backup that could barely start on a lot of teams. He bounced around the league to the Ravens for a while, and comes to the Saints and becomes a starter. So Penning's really the one that I would say has underachieved, and he's only in year 1.5 of his career. I would just say kind of a tough break for Marrone, but that's the reality of being an assistant coach in the league sometimes when you have changes. And I don't know that I necessarily celebrate it in the sense that I don't think they lost a shitty coach,
Well, the thing is, I was going to say is, one, they fired Doug Marrone on a Saturday. He could have been at a parade. I mean, that's pretty he could have been out. He could have been out at a parade.
He probably
Better than
knew
what they did to
before
Mike Carney.
Oh,
that. That's when you
That's
found out that he got fired.
man.
All right. Well, that was very long-winded, Andrew. I'm going back.
I'm sure you're going to keep this real concise, Dave.
Yeah.
Going back to the news breaking thing. Ralph was texting us like, "Oh, Andrew broke the news," and I'm like, "What news?" And I looked back at the Saints Happy Hour our Twitter account, and it wasn't on there. And so then you guys texted me the link because it was on Andrew's personal account. Which one? How come we didn't put mine on the Saints Happy Hour account? Why didn't we put?
That's
Yeah, I
Andrew's
should have.
on
I should have. I
That's
should
true.
have. I should have. That was
and then
tough but fair.
and then I noticed, but then I was going to all the articles and I saw that they were referencing Nick Underhill, and so then I went to Nick Underhill's thing and I saw that he also had this. And then I looked at the timestamps, and Andrew broke the news
Check the timestamp.
Andrew broke it at 7:10, and Nick Underhill's was at 7:11 or whatever.
Wow.
Which is bizarre.
Isn't that the business though? Whoever gets to it
That's
first.
right. I didn't
guess
see
so,
people
but-
crediting you. I saw people crediting Underhill.
That's right.
Underhill had it first. I yelled at a
That's
couple
so
of
typical,
you.
by the way. That's so typical.
They blocked me. You
Underhill
go to hell.
knows nobody's going to give a shit about your tweet. They're
That's
going to care
right.
about
That's
his tweet.
Underhill
That's
had it first. I was like, no, Florio. He fucking did not.
Yeah.
But again,
Wait. So, yes, I did beat Nick Underhill. So I did break that news. No one will ever give me credit for it, but that is a fact. Check the timestamp. But secondly, Dave,
sits on the Jewish empire.
But secondly, this isn't about me taking a victory lap about some assistant coach that gets fired. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
But what it is about is that my intel was actually accurate. So
Yeah, but-
put that in your pipe and smoke
But
it, Dave.
this,
It
but
was
see, and
about
this
owning
is,
Dave.
It's about.
see, this is
The
where
main thing here is that I wasn't wrong.
no, but see, and this is where I was going. This is where I was going with this. We have. I may be on the island here. Maybe Kevin's with me. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But it's
you're on the
definitely-
island.
Well, I'm not sure, but you two are definitely on one side, and we have a disagreement on the big picture here of the podcast, because I don't really feel like we need to be breaking news. I don't feel like that's our job. We're not reporters. I don't give a crap about breaking news.
I don't
I feel
either.
like, well, yes, you do. Yes, you
No, I
do.
don't. I just found out and I put it out there. I'm not
Andrew
reporter.
doesn't care about breaking news. He wants to be in the
Stop.
know. That's what
Yeah.
Andrew wants to be. Andrew wants to be in the know.
Stop.
He wants to be in the
These are
know.
lies.
Every
All right,
once in a while, I come across information before anyone else,
I
but
want to break.
that's not my job. I'm not
Dave, I'll admit it. I
No,
want to
it's
break
not your job.
I want to be the crippled
Yes, you-
Adam Schefter. I'll admit it. I'm just too lazy to cultivate sources, and I'm terrible at it.
And
But
that's the
I want
other
it.
thing. Yes.
I want it so bad.
Okay. And
My
Andrew
DMs are
cultivates
open if
sources.
anybody famous
Andrew,
listens to the podcast.
Andrew actively cultivates sources. I don't
He
do
does.
that. I just hang out with.
I'm
people.
not. I'm not actively cultivating sources.
Stop. Stop.
I'm not. I'm just naturally a relationship builder.
Yeah, here's the
what I
thing.
do.
Andrew has no fear of if we have a guest or whatever.
I just like
asking for their phone number or DM, and if they and then if they give it to him, he'll just pester them, and either they ghost him or they become a source. That's the Andrew Juge method of source creation. Is that
You
correct?
make me sound so pathetic. I don't know.
That's good. No, man. I'm jealous. I wish
That's
I could do
basically
that.
what I'm saying, Andrew. So I guess Ralph is doing a good job of summing up what I'm trying to say, because that's
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
You're both insulting me,
I'm
right?
jealous.
Ralph's just being
Pathetic
more
is a good
polite
word.
about it.
No, I'm jealous because I get people trying to set. They just pump me with fake information because they think that I'll just tweet it out there, and they're probably 80% right. Sometimes I really do get things, and I'm like, I want to tweet it so bad, but I know it's fake. But but yeah, I
still
want
love
to.
you, Andrew. We still
we
love
still
you.
love-
Let's pump him
Andrew-
back up now. We broke him down. Now we
Yeah,
gotta
pull me
him
back up. Come on.
That's what we do. That's what we do here.
Andrew's got the thing is Andrew has really good sort. Like if Andrew wanted to be a real reporter, he probably could be.
I'd
But
have
he's-
to move. I'd have to move to New Orleans to.
And you'd have to-
Insider.
Yeah,
He'd have to break up with us, of course. We tarnish his.
you do. Yeah, I
media-
mean, Dave putting his fake news out there certainly doesn't
What if-
do me any favors.
What if Nick offered you a job, but you had to move to New Orleans?
I mean, is that a serious question?
Yeah, it's a serious question.
I mean, I forgetting Nick. I forget Nick for a second, who's a good friend of mine. Yeah, I mean, look, this would be in some ways a dream job for me. And I miss New Orleans. I'm from there, and I love it. But I've raised a family somewhere else, and we're in a very good community with friends and all that. And I don't know, I can't
He
uproot
can't
my
leave
family.
Booge Town, Dave.
Yeah.
He can't leave.
I mean,
Booge Town.
I guess it would be different. I guess it would be different if this job paid me what I make here. But I know that those jobs don't pay anything.
Andrew.
So-
Unless you're
I
the
mean,
boss.
I think
Like,
Nick does well, but
well, he's the
anyone
boss.
that works for Nick or anyone else in the Saints coverage industry, they don't make anything.
Andrew, is your source Tommy Oakland?
that was great. That was from Aldi Marino or whatever.
Nice.
That was hilarious.
I should hit up Tommy
So,
for some intel.
Thomas, give us a quick donation update before I get to the next topic.
So yeah,
The Bebo.
25 buckaroos
Come on,
still,
people.
and Butters is still in the lead with 20, and also thanks to Who.Golf for subscribing for free with Amazon Prime, guys.
Thank you. Right, yeah, right.
I will say this: despite the fact that I'm in Virginia, I am the Mike Ornstein of Nick Underhill, and he's probably not listening to this right now, but he knows what I'm talking about. And if you ask Underhill if I'm his Ornstein, he'll be like, "Yeah, Juge is my Ornstein, 100%." So
Don't
I'll just throw that out there.
Don't be going to jail for selling.
I'm just saying I
fake
make things
signed
happen
jerseys.
for Underhill.
Don't go to jail for
I'm pretty sure
selling
these-
fake jerseys.
I was thinking maybe Andrew's like his drug dealer or something.
I'm pretty
him
sure
up with-
Underhill is clean and sober, and I don't think he
Sorry,
does anything.
prostitutes. He's got
No.
something. He's got
So
some kind
Andrew,
of.
he's
what
got
was your,
some
what
kind of
was your
nice-
source, Andrew?
What? I made it the fuck up.
Why don't you back it up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up.
You were
The
just
greatest
lucky,
soundbite
man.
ever.
You were just lucky.
So here's the thing: this Doug Marrone was fired by Dennis Allen on Saturday. The Saints, the scuttle, and you even tweeted this out, Andrew. The initial thing was that they were going to replace him with Rick Dennison, a man who looks like he smokes 3 packs a day and believes the X-Files was a documentary. Thomas, put that picture. That man has a bookshelf full of Who Killed Kennedy books. I'm just saying. Like when I read that dude had to be demoted because he wouldn't get vaccinated in 2020, I was like, that checks out.
I don't think he was demoted. I think he was removed from the team, right?
At first they were like, well, you can work from home, and then yeah, you can't really be offensive line coach or work from home. But he's not going to be the guy. Apparently it's going to be somebody else, and I'm crestfallen.
Yeah, it's disappointing.
But
By the way, just before we leave the Marrone topic, I just want to point out again. I've mentioned this before. When Alex Anzalone was on the team, everybody said his name was pronounced Anzalone, but nobody's calling him Doug Marrone, and it's still the O-N-E at the end. So I'm just saying.
It's
I still
been
think
so
it's
long.
Alex Anzalone, I believe, should be
The fact that Anzalone has been off the team for so long that we no longer play the Mario theme is
It's
one of the most.
Anglezone.
That's one of the most tragic things.
he was.
We played it like 2 weeks ago when we were talking about.
He was on
something else.
It was sad.
Then what are you doing, Thomas? What do we pay you for?
Damn.
So here's the thing with the offensive line situation with the Saints is they're gonna hire somebody But I didn't. This is what I want to talk about too, Andrew. This is the first time, like the Saints since the year 2000, they've really only had 3 offensive systems. They had Mike McCarthy in 2000 to 2004, Mike Shepard in 2005. Then they had Sean Payton, and look, Pete was the offensive coordinator.
Did you really have to say Mike Shepard? Could we not have just like bypassed that?
Well, I mean, my point
Pretended
was
it never happened.
2005. That's right. That's a great point. 2005 never did happen. So they've really only had like 2 offensive systems the last like 20 years. And listen, I know Doug Marrone was the offensive coordinator. I had forgotten about that. He was technically the offensive coordinator for 2 years before he went off to Syracuse. And they had Pete the last 2 years. But it's the Sean Payton system. We're going to have an entire new offense, Andrew, with the Shanahan system. How much churn do you think potentially on the roster? Now, look, I know they're locked into a lot of guys from salary cap, but like those positions of 4th, 5th, 6th wide receiver, backup offensive lineman, could we see a lot of churn on this roster in a way that we haven't seen in a while because of the new offense?
Yeah, I think so. I think there will be less like veteran holdovers from previous seasons, your backup guys. Well, Traquan's gone, but I just think, the Kirkwoods and the, these kind of like holdover backup guys, I think a lot of them will get cut. And then I think, it might change the way they draft a little bit, the kind of guys they target. I think they're looking for maybe a different profile receiver moving forward.
One that can block.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
they have a guy for the
one that stays healthy.
They have highlights. People make highlights on the Twitters.
I guess we spent a lot of time on Michael Thomas last week, but my God.
Yeah, I mean Jennings from San Francisco, he's a restricted free agent. If they wouldn't tender him, he caught like 10 passes, but apparently he's a tremendous blocker. But my boy Lynn Bowden, he's good at blocking. Every time the Saints had him on the field, practically it was a running play, right? He can block. So when his foot heals up, maybe he's got a better shot of making the team. But the thing is, Dave, with this hire is, listen, it's got to work out, because if it doesn't, Dennis Allen is going to be fired out of a cannon. But
is that a bad thing?
No, it's not. But here's my question: is because I'm sort of in a space of, look, either I want this hire to be awesome and the Saints go 13-4, and Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis are dunking on people, taking their victory lap, and Kubiak is, I don't know, the coach of the Cowboys next January, whatever. Like, it's like the Saints do that well, like he turns Derek Carr into a borderline MVP. I either want that, or I want like 4-13, just fire everybody and mash the reset button and be done with it. But do you see a scenario where like they don't go to the playoffs and it's kind of mediocre again, but they do just enough to run it back, and Kubiak gets another year and DA gets another year. Like, so I guess my question is, does the new offensive coordinator, does it change anything for you as far as your expectations of what DA has to do to save his job?
I think it's playoff or bust, don't you, Dave?
For DA?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. What if you know what? How about this scenario? Here's a scenario where DA stays. They go 8-9. Defense is great, but Kubiak's a disaster. Offense is a disaster. Then maybe they say, well, Kubiak needs a year to to adjust, to get all the right players, and then so then he gets another year, and then DA gets another year with it, and then together that's their last year, or they stay.
That's an interesting scenario, like because Andrew, the Saints would be like, well, DA's had a top 5 defense for 7 years in a row. We can't get rid of that. Their defense was 3rd And like, if the offense, if it was better than 20th, and the last 2 weeks they scored 20 points, we're gonna run it back. Like, that's a scenario I didn't think of. Oh God, here we go.
Matt Ryan.
Andre George with 3K bits without any donation message. Sorry,
Wow.
that's Andrew's dad. My bad.
Mr. Juge, type it into the chat, and we'll do it in robot voice for you.
Yeah.
How close are we to Ralph taking a shot?
No, we're not anywhere close.
Not that
40,
close. I don't
40
know what's going on
buckaroos.
today.
I need to update the meter. 40 buckaroos.
We're 40 buckaroos away. So, but Andrew, do you, because I'm just looking at this team and I'm like, I think obviously Loomis wants DA to succeed, but I'm just not sure how committed to DA they are if they go 8-9, 9-8 again and miss the playoffs. So I'm just trying to think of like, what's the scenarios where they got the new offensive coordinator now. To me, it's put up or shut up time for DA because you got your quarterback, you got your offensive coordinator. Like, no more excuses.
Yeah. What else do we need to build, for it to work? So, no, I do think it's playoffs or bust. And Aldo Mourinho says, playoffs seem like a low bar. He says that in the chat, and I'm like, compared to what? Compared to Sean Payton, sure. Like, compared to DA, he hasn't made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were 7-10, they were 9-8. Like, so. I mean, at this point, the bar's been reset. The Saints are a team that hasn't been to the playoffs the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, the talent is getting older and less impressive. And unless they nail this draft, like the cap situation is less easy to navigate. So like
situation in just a second.
And the competition is getting better. Like Carolina, I mean, they can't possibly be worse. I think Atlanta's going to be a lot better. So, like, I just like, like playoffs. I could see how people would like raise their hand and say, like, winning the division, making the playoffs, and losing the first round. Like, I don't know how else to tell people this. That's progress for this team. This is where we are. I
mean, going back to what Ralph asked me, when Sean Payton was here, his offense was always great, and it was always we were always just looking for the right defensive coordinator to take us to the promised land. And honestly, like Dennis Allen, it's kind of like the same situation. Like if Dennis Allen's going to be here and he keeps having top 5 defenses, that's enough reason to keep him around and just say, hey, we just need to get him, the right. It's our fault. We're not getting him the right offensive coordinator. Same as it was back with Peyton. The team was like, it's our fault. We're not finding the right defensive coordinator. We're not picking the right defensive coordinator. So I think this is kind of like the reverse situation. The thing that annoys me about Dennis Allen is the other the other shit, the not being a player,
apologizing to Atlanta.
All that
never
crap,
getting over that.
The parking spaces stuff, all that stuff. That's the crap that annoys me about DA. It's not his coaching, his on-field stuff. It's none of that.
Here's my question, but before we get to the next topic, and I want both of you to answer, and I'm going to do the famous toxic positivity. How good does the Saints offense need to be? And how good do you think the record needs to be to get Clint Kubiak a head coaching job next January?
After 1 year, damn.
I'd say. Is that Andrew? Yep. Andrew donated 28.
Dennis
30.
Allen sucks worse than Ralph's bad hand. But Dave's fake news sucks worst of all.
Making it rain.
Wow.
Also, thanks to Archimage for subscribing with Twitch Prime 16 months in a row. Damn.
Thank you.
All right. So, Ralph, going back to your question, I think if their record is 3-14, then Dennis Allen gets fired, and then maybe Clint Kubiak gets hired as head coach of the Saints.
I can't see that. No way.
No, I'm kidding. No, the only way he would get hired as head coach of the Saints is like if somehow like they have a terrible record, but like the offense is great and the defense is so terrible But
Yeah.
I mean, going back to what I was saying earlier, like I don't see that happening. Dennis Allen is a pretty damn good defensive coach. It's never really been the defensive problem. It's always the offense.
No, but like
Derek
Now-
Carr, good. By the way, as much as I dislike DA and how I don't think he's a very good coach, I still think Derek Carr is 80% of this problem. 80% of the Saints' problem. And I think if you had to change one, I think changing Derek Carr, if you had to upgrade one, upgrading Derek Carr would get you infinitely
well, sure.
more.
Like Derek
improvement.
Carr is the avatar of like average quarterback, but like going from
I
Derek.
actually like Derek Carr better than
Matt Ryan.
I like Derek Carr better than Dennis Allen, personally.
Positivity, those shots cripple. Also hashtag we want Cody Rhodes.
What?
Yeah, we're there now.
Wow. Jesus.
It was looking a little low for a minute there, but you guys came on strong.
Jesus.
Your boy Allen with 28.3, getting us over the
So like,
edge.
is it gonna be? So is it gonna be?
Whatever you said was most disgusting, the Swedish shit. That's what you're drinking.
Sweden shit's disgusting. I think it's unsanitary because it was accidentally opened, and it smells worse.
Even better. Your stomach won't. Your stomach has much stronger enzymes or whatever that will break that down.
you could put a rusted door.
The stomach
in my-
is very
Yeah,
seasoned.
you're like a tiger shark. Yeah, you could be eating tin cans and glass bottles.
Salmonella.
Oh, man.
Aldi Marino in the
Oh,
chat.
So wait, what? So what is this?
It's Bosca Drapor. It's one of the listeners sent it to me. Remember, he had to
I'm sure he's pronouncing that perfectly.
send it to me. He sent it to me in he sent it.
I'm gonna look this
His
up.
friend came and visited him. He sent it, and his friend flew back to the States, and he sent it to me in wrapping paper. It was in a box wrapped in Cincinnati Bengal wrapping paper. It's from Sweden. It's from Stockholm.
Can you spell that for me, please?
BASKADROPPAR.
Got it.
It's 40% by volume.
It's a Swedish style liquor flavored with wormwood or anise. So again, it's
Oh.
wormwood again.
Wormwood,
Sweden
the
is one
key
of the few
operative
countries-
ingredient.
So it's like
Sweden
the
is-
absinthe.
Yes, it's just like absinthe. It's just like Malort, same thing. Sweden is one of the few countries that has never banned absinthe or other wormwood flavored liqueurs.
Because the Swedish
Basque.
don't get.
It's
don't
probably
give up.
Basque. Basque
don't
is an
get-
old alternative spelling of the word besk, which means bitter.
Oh,
40% alcohol.
Oh, damn. That's at least a 5, I think.
oh God, that's a 9.
Oh, damn, it was that bad?
Ooh,
Damn.
baby.
And no halves? What the hell, Rolf?
No halves. What is going on?
Wow.
Hey, Sally, I need assistance. You ever?
Me almost want to vomit.
This is probably people that are younger listen to the podcast probably don't remember this, but like they used to have a thing like when you had a typewriter and you would have to do a report and you didn't have Word and you couldn't make edits, you had to type it out, and then you had liquid paper. Do y'all remember what liquid paper is?
Yeah, liquid paper. Yeah,
And you
like
would
whiteout. You mean like
Yeah.
whiteout?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
liquid paper, like whiteout.
Mhm.
And did you ever like get it on your fingers and like
Yeah.
not wash it off and then like eat something and like you taste the liquid paper?
Yeah.
Kind of tastes like liquid.
I have not. I don't.
It kind of tastes like liquid paper. Like just.
And who calls it liquid paper? It's whiteout. Everyone calls it whiteout.
Do they? Put it
Yeah.
in the poll, Thomas. Do you call
Whiteout or liquid paper? Which one do you call it?
White out?
Yeah.
Aldi
White-
Marino says
white out.
White out.
wormwood is Ralph's kryptonite. That is correct.
I don't know if that is correct because he's still fucking here every week. He's still
Did
here.
it.
What actually made him puke though? I don't think it was wormwood.
No, what?
What was the one that made you actually puke?
It was a combo one. It was like it was.
Or was it
something-
Malort?
No, it wasn't. Malort. The thing with Malort is now that I've done it a couple times, I'm really scared of it because it's really like it's gonna get me one of these times, you know. And it scares me because
I think you're all right. I think
it's
you're
just
all
so disgusting. But thanks to everybody for donating. And by the way,
right. Wait, where were those crickets? I thought you were going to eat crickets.
oh well, I was gonna.
Well, you just ruined the freaking surprise.
Dave,
That was supposed to be a reveal next week.
It was supposed to be a reveal, but I mean,
Jesus,
now that
Dave, oh man.
Dave just shitting all over my
Unbelievable.
Well, nobody told me that. Nobody told me that.
My wife.
I mean,
What the? He told you at the beginning of the show, man.
No,
you weren't
jeez.
listening.
Dave was just behind the scenes. Dave was just zoned out for like 5 minutes, and me and Andrew were like, "Is the screen frozen?
It wasn't,
Is he not
I wasn't zoned out. I couldn't hear. My
And he
headphones
couldn't
weren't
hear?
working.
But I think we
Shit.
told him this
Sorry,
before.
guys.
He hasn't won. But
No, I don't
anyway,
remember.
now
Whiteout won the poll, by the way, 4-2.
all right. So
Yeah.
so now the bit's gone. But next week, my wife got these when she did a wedding in
My
San Antonio. Bacon and cheese crickets.
What's the ABV on those bad boys?
There's no ABV on crickets. And sour cream and onion.
Ugh.
God,
So what I'll do next
those probably
week,
really aren't even that bad. They're just crunchy. I've eaten those before. That's not even.
yeah, but
Ugh.
here's
I
the
think
fun-
Malort's worse.
here's the thing though, Dave. Next week we're gonna
You're putting them
Thomas
up your
is gonna
butt.
come. Thomas is gonna put it in a calculator and come up with a numerical monetary value. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna eat one of these and do a shot right after. That's
You should just put it in the shot,
So
like
it's
they
gonna be
have
like, you know,
like
guys,
they have the snake in the liquor.
shitting time. It's
I
gonna,
think you
I'm
put-
gonna
I
make
say
a
put it-
shit meter instead of puke meter.
like the worm and the tequila kind of deal.
Yeah. I'd say put it in the shot. Two of them.
well to Thomas.
Put it in
Thanks,
the
Dave.
shot.
Thank Dave. Now you don't have to make any fancy graphics for the reveal. 'Cause he just ruined it. So Dave, so Thomas,
Dave, what the hell, man?
thank you, Dave.
Dave ruining always. Fucking
I mean, you could've-
fake
you could've
breaking news, you know?
You could have.
You're on a
just
streak,
ignored
man.
me. You could have just ignored me and just kept on going with the show, and like it would have been fine.
All right, listen. So apparently the code, how to break the code to get more listens, is you got to put Taylor Swift in the title. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about Taylor Swift for 10 seconds, and then we're going to move on.
Here's the thing.
Ralph, what are your favorite 5 Taylor Swift songs? Can you even name 5
I can
Taylor
name.
Swift
I
songs?
can name Taylor Swift song.
I can name some.
I can name
Paper-
one, man. I
Paper
cannot
Rings.
name one.
Paper Rings? No
Paper
way.
Rings.
Yeah. Mhm.
And Exile.
You,
Bon
you
Iver.
confirm that's a Taylor Swift song, Dave? Can
Yeah.
you confirm?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
and
have
then,
talked about this when my daughter was here and still awake.
I've heard of neither. Continue.
So those are the top 2. Those actually I do listen
That's
to.
all
You
we
need 3 more.
Blank Space is a
Yeah.
good one.
Okay.
I listened to that
Yeah.
one. And
Yeah. I know that one.
And Bad Blood, right?
Yep.
Bad
You need-
Blood.
okay, that's 4. You need 1 more.
And Shake It Off. I mean, like,
Okay.
There you go.
I-
Those
like
were lame
here's the thing.
ones.
So we're gonna put this test to a theory.
Okay, that was good. All right, we're done with that. Now put it in the title, Thomas, and hopefully we'll get some clicks. Good job.
What are you
Taylor
gonna say,
Swift
Ralph?
loves
What
the
were you gonna
Saints.
say, Ralph?
I was gonna say we're gonna put that theory to the test because we did a mailbag last week that
Oh.
we haven't published. It'll publish Wednesday for the patrons, and then the free version will go live. A listener asked a question: what players should Taylor Swift date when she breaks up with Travis Kelce? And me and Dave talked about it for 20 minutes, and Thomas created us a graphic of
I
how
don't even
Taylor
remember that. I
how
don't remember
Taylor
that at
Swift
all.
can save the Saints. So we're gonna put that theory to a test.
This makes me think of like those Geocity websites in the 90s.
GeoCity?
Yeah, we're like in the 90s where the website would be normal and then there would be these keywords at the bottom that would just say like Viagra, sex, drugs, Pam Anderson, nude video,
Right,
XXX.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and like the website had nothing to do with any of that, but it was just they were hopeful that people that would Google those keywords would land on the site.
Well, there used to be.
Geocities.
Geocities.
Hello, my future girlfriend.
There used to be a thing, a field when you, because I do SEO is my real job. There used to be a field 10, 15 years ago where you would put in the keywords for that you wanted Google to like pull from. But Google, everybody started gaming the system. So like, even though that field is still there for like blogs and stuff, like Google doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, you used to be able to just type in like 4 keywords and get yourself like ranked number 1 and make tens of dollars.
Okay, wait. I didn't get to rank my 5 favorite.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm kidding.
man.
No, but I am a Taylor Swift fan. I actually love Taylor because of my daughter mostly.
I think they call that being a
Swifties. I'm a Swiftie. Yeah, I'm a Swiftie. We're gonna go see her. Actually, she's coming here in October. We already have tickets, so we're excited. But I like.
Right?
Have I ever told you? Have I ever told you my Taylor Swift story?
I don't know.
Damn,
Oh
another
my gosh.
story time with Andre Jules.
Yeah, I think we got
Russian
to.
story?
I think we got to do this. I think we got to do this.
All right, come
All right.
on.
I'll try to be concise.
Is that
So
possible?
I played in a band when I first moved to Charlottesville, Virginia, and we were a Stone Temple Pilots tribute band. It's a true story.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is all tracking so far.
So I'm the guitar player in the Stone Temple Pilots tribute band.
What was the name?
Stone Temple Pirates, because we pirate their music.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I tried to lobby for Stone. I tried to lobby for Stone Temple Pilates, but the guys didn't like that, so we settled for Stone Temple Pirates.
That's a terrible name.
So actually, we did. Are you guys familiar with the Led Zeppelin tribute, Zoso? They're national, like they do well. You guys familiar with them?
No.
Vaguely.
We opened for them once. They showed up 2 hours late, so we played to a sold out crowd. It was awesome.
2 weeks in a row, you're bringing
700
the
people.
goat.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm in this band. I play guitar, and our singer is this guy named Mike Meadows. And Mike is super annoying. I remember the biggest offer we were playing for clubs that like 17 people would go to. Our tickets were like $4. You know what I mean? Like it was as bullshit as it gets. But occasionally, one time I remember we got an offer to play at a festival in Ohio in Cleveland for $5,000. And that was way more money. I mean, at this point, guys, like I'm like 24 years old. I'm like $5,000. Like the most I've ever gotten is like 3 beers, for a performance. So I'm like pumped. I'm like, let's go. And I remember
it was still like 15 or 16 years until you would get to touch that sweet inheritance and your estate.
So I'm pumped and I'm texting the guys and everyone's like, hell yeah, I'm in. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. And the only one that replies that he can't do it is Meadows, our singer. And he's like, yeah, sorry guys, I got a solo acoustic gig already booked at this place. And it's like, I know he was getting paid like $20. I was just like, seriously? So anyway, he was one of these guys that took his craft way too seriously. All right, anyway, I'll fast forward. He decides to move to Nashville. And he decides to go to Nashville to be a session musician. And he hops on, you guys know Josh Groban? Do you know him?
Yeah.
He hopped on his tour back when Josh wasn't that famous. He goes on a run with him. And the deal when you're a session musician in Nashville is you hop on a tour, you get paid, you go home, and then you try to hop on a different tour. So those country musicians, they have a rolling cast of musicians every tour. It's different people. So they don't have like a set band for the most part. And so he's hopping on tour to tour. And then there's this 16-year-old girl who's kind of she's kind of making some waves. Meadows hops on that tour, so he gets hooked up with someone, and he's playing on that tour. They go on a run, and about 3 shows into that tour, this little girl's album hits #1 in the country. overnight. So she goes from like nightclub, whatever, to arena sensation overnight. And that person was Taylor Swift.
Wow.
And Taylor decided that night, she was like, you were the people that were here with me when I hit it big.
No.
And so you're my band now.
No.
So this motherfucker
No way.
is still. You'll see Mike. You'll see Mike when you go with your daughter to watch. I still text with him. He's still a friend.
Are you serious? Can you get us backstage? Wait a minute.
I mean, I can
Wait a
make the
minute.
story really
Dude.
long and start to talk about that. But so Meadows is still in her band to this day. I'm friends with him on Facebook. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. It's like me backstage with Mick Jagger at Osaka Arena. Me at O2 Arena hanging out with Bono. Like
Right.
that's his life now. And that's what's on his Facebook. And every time I see him, like,
Holy cow, that's crazy.
you were the singer of the Stone Temple Pirates, you asshole.
And you cheated me out of
It's
$5
not- yeah.
grand. I should have. It was cheating me out of my share of $5 grand.
And so he anytime I want Taylor's tickets, he hooks me up. And my daughter's a huge fan. So
Don't
hold
put
on.
that out, dude. Your DMs just got.
I can't hook up
overrun.
anybody else. I can barely hook myself up. But
You can hook up.
I've gotten my wife and my daughter, they've gotten hooked up with Taylor Swift tickets a couple times. But I will tell you this. One time my wife went up to DC, Meadows hooked her up with tickets, and I was embarrassed, like texting him like, hey dude, like, can you hook up my wife with like backstage passes? Is that even possible? And he texts me back and he's like, I'm not even allowed backstage. Like, that's reserved for Michelle Obama.
Wow.
So it was kind of like, she is such a level of celebrity that like Meadows, who is in her band,
Can't go
is in
backstage.
a different section of the stadium with a different backstage pass. And
Wow.
like no one has access to her.
Can I get tickets to meet him?
So no, Dave, I cannot.
Wait, no. What? Michelle Obama is not going to be at the show in New Orleans. This is going to be a normal show.
I
seriously,
think
you would-
only the highest.
Dave's
society
bigger than
has.
Obama.
Yeah, I'm not bigger than
You will
Obama. but
never-
I think
Ever top
You're a
Andrew in the
t-shirt
booth.
magnate. You got the 2,000 square foot shop.
seriously, tell him
Dave's.
Isn't that
Andrew's-
crazy? Isn't that crazy though, that
yes.
he's like in her band still?
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Still.
He lucked out, man.
That
No,
That's
seriously.
he
Seriously,
like
you better
Ben,
text
the
him.
Ben Mintz Barstool story. Like he
No,
hit
that's
it
nothing
even
compared to that.
luckier than that.
it's like that's like times the 1,000
Yeah.
times.
yeah.
And the Ben Mintz story in Barstool is incredible. Now you're the bouge king forever, Andrew.
What do you
yeah.
mean I'm the Boosh King? I have nothing to do with this.
It doesn't matter. You have pathways. You have ways the Swifties would murder for.
True. I'm 1 degree of separation from Taylor.
That's right. So
Anyway, so make this happen. Make me look like the greatest father to my daughter that's ever lived.
aren't you already that? So
No. If I
I'm
if
glad-
I can get her backstage at Taylor Swift,
the-
then that's
the NFL.
By the way, I'm looking at Mike Meadows' profile on the Swift agency on his on the website there. It does not say anything.
about
It says
Stone Temple
Josh.
Pilots.
Nope. It says Josh Grayson, Pat McGee band, Money Penny, Tailgate South.
Money Penny.
No.
I booked Money Penny when he was in Virginia.
He's
Andrew,
from
what's your
Danville. Yeah,
sauce,
it
man?
says he's from Danville.
Why don't you
Virginia.
back it up with a source?
My source is that I
Do
made
you know
it the
his
fuck
birthday?
up.
It says his birthday. on here.
Nice
Do you
story,
know his
Andrew,
birthday?
man.
I can't.
Sorry, man.
I can't.
He has a
can't say
bachelor's
it.
degree. Do you know what his bachelor's degree is?
I know he went to JMU.
Yeah. Do you know what he got a degree in from JMU?
No.
Cello
Toxic
performance.
positivity.
Hello. Yeah.
Cello performance.
I want to
Sounds
say
about
the NFL season isn't even over, and we are completely off the rails. Dedicating.
I didn't think we were going to talk about Taylor Swift that much. That one.
A third
Yeah,
of
there
the
you go.
podcast is.
Yeah,
Taylor
honestly, the heading is Andrew knows Taylor Swift's guitar.
That's
player.
right.
By the way, I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to mention this one more time. all the whoring out you do, texting your Saints sources and trying to get the scoop on the Saints sources, you can send one text to your old buddy Mike and just see if he's got a couple of backstage passes to the Taylor Swift. Okay, that is significantly less embarrassing.
Does Taylor Swift want to meet a
I
T-shirt
disagree. I think it's
magnet?
way more embarrassing.
Does Taylor
No
Swift
way.
want to meet the T-shirt magnet of New Orleans?
No
Just
way,
saying.
no way. This isn't about me. This isn't about me. This is about my little the little 9-year-old girl that knows all the lyrics to Taylor's song. I know all the songs to the 10-minute song all too well.
You know what
Taylor's
my
version.
you know what my son discovered on Apple Music? He discovered "Hit That Motorbike," the Saints song,
Oh my
and he's been
Skibbity-
playing it.
Skibbity motorbike.
John Wizard.
Skibbity
Hit that
toilet.
motorbike. It's a great song. Look it up on Apple Music. So
I
guys,
want to get a drink.
yeah, we are presented by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, fresh strawberries from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof. Blended and bottled in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Porch Jam Distillery. Hard Hide Strawberry Whiskey is not for the thin-skinned. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all football season long. So support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. And I want to remind you, you can use your Amazon Prime membership to support Saints Happy Hour, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Click on the link in the podcast description with instructions from Thomas. Do it. It's free. You can do it every month. Take Jeff Bezos' money and give it to us. Thomas, we have a donation update. I'm drinking. How close am I to drinking again?
Less than 60 buckaroos, and there's a tight race for the
It's
MVP.
disgusting.
Andrew's dad is in the lead. Andrew's dad is
disgusting.
in the lead with 30 buckaroos, and tied for the second place is Andrew with your boy Ian with 28-3. Right behind him, Budrich with 20 bucks. Damn.
It's
You
really
know-
become a huge family affair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the next topic, Thomas, and we're gonna go straight to the mailbag.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
I
We
want
gotta
to
talk
know.
about
I want
Jameis, too.
to.
What about Jameis?
Well, we'll talk about Jameis do we have any Jameis questions in the mailbag, Thomas?
No,
I'll make one
I don't
up.
think we do. I don't think we do.
The question is did you listen to Jameis's interview on Pardon My Take?
I did. It was amazing. We're going to skip the salary cap take, Thomas, because I want to save that for next week. The stupid salary cap takes
Roger
were
that.
amazing, and I feel like the Taylor Swift has drowned the show, and we're totally up.
You're welcome.
I want to save the stupid salary cap takes for next week. And it'll give you less work.
I just hooked us up with 2,000 clicks with that story.
you probably maybe.
Yeah.
You might have. Certainly more than you breaking the Doug Marone news.
So, Thomas, what would get us more clicks, you think? Andrew breaking Dennis Allen getting fired, or
Taylor Swift story.
like Taylor Swift news that he had? Like, what would
Then-
get us more clicks?
Damn, that's a good question.
Oh,
Or what if Kai Harley gets announced as GM tomorrow?
Probably not that.
No, because retroactive, like the old stuff from like a month ago will come up in the search.
I mean, what kind of coffee Taylor Swift has to drink tomorrow morning gets more hits than Dennis Allen being fired?
I think it would be funny, like, we could leak like 20 seconds of a Taylor Swift song and do a podcast downloads of like 50 million. And then
Yeah.
next week, Andrew could break that Dennis Allen got fired and it would do like 2,500.
Yeah, I mean, our third most listened to show was like Mina Kimes, like 6 months after it happened. So,
Mina Kimes is a good show.
yeah.
So
Everyone on Malta loves her.
dude, Mina Kimes show, we're still top 20 in South Korea because of that. Like
It's been a while since we had a Malta update, Ralph.
we are struggling in Malta.
I like this. Aldi Marino says if Kai Harley gets announced as the Saints' new GM, Juge has to do his best to get me backstage Taylor passes.
I agree. I think he should.
Yeah, you keep counting on that. On both.
Well, you're gonna. Well, I just assume you were gonna help me get backstage passes regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Your old buddy Mike.
I can't even get them for my wife.
How about this? That was a special. That was in Washington D.C. and the president was going to be there. That's totally different. How about this? You just give me his phone number and I'll set it up myself. I'll make it.
Dave.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to text him. I'm going to be like, "You remember the Stone Temple Pirates? I was there." 2001.
And he's gonna be like, no.
See, Andrew, that was a mistake.
Harper's Ferry, Virginia.
See, it was a mistake mentioning the story because Dave has a daughter. I have a son. He could give a rat's you know what about Taylor Swift,
Right?
But Dave, he'll
Yeah,
you know,
I'm the only one that. Yeah, it's not like it's
Can't
not
you
like
pay extra for the backstage pass?
Dave
or
would
something?
crime for backstage passes to Taylor Swift.
You know, it's funny. My daughter is a Taylor fan, but we were just watching the Grammys the other night. She's bigger into Olivia Rodrigo, who was a six-time Grammy nominee this time around. And she lost everything to Taylor Swift. She was 0 for 6. Lost to Taylor, lost to Miley Cyrus.
Susan Lucci of the Grammys.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I think she has won Grammys in the past, but she was a 0 for 6 this time around. And my daughter still loves Taylor Swift, but was kind of like pissed at her for winning and not letting Olivia win anything. So
wow,
we've become a Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know, whatever you call it, standing in this household.
Well, you know what? If I had access to Olivia Rodrigo backstage passes, Andrew, I would do whatever I could in my power to get you those backstage passes. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then, guys, we had a 30 Buckaroo first-time donation from Wendell Cavalier. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Wendell.
He's tied for the
Wendell
first place with
Cavalier.
Andrew's
Wow, that's a
dad for the
name.
MVP.
That's a name. I'm assuming his name is Wendell, and he's a UV fan.
So Thomas,
Yeah.
let's get to the mailbag, Thomas.
Wait. So how far are we now from Ralph taking
Less than
a shot?
30. Less than 30.
How much exactly?
28.4.
Wow. $28.
Almost 28.3. Damn.
I could drink
Almost.
a ginger. I could drink peanut butter and jelly.
No, you'll enjoy the peanut butter and jelly.
I don't know. Like jelly and whiskey, that seems gross.
I don't know why Keith gave that.
I thought it was
I don't know why Keith
raspberry.
gave that to you.
Run Amok 504 says, I miss football so much. I have to say this. I do too. I think
Because we're talking about Taylor Swift
no,
for now.
And Olivia Rodrigo.
I have a theory that the NFL, Dave, now that they put a ton of games on Saturday and they sort of fill December with Saturday games more than they had in the past, the end of football, like once you get past the divisional round, because basically from December until the divisional round of the playoffs, you had football Saturday, Sunday, Monday, basically. And then it's just done, over with. And I just think it's more abrupt than it used to be, as it kind of like would peter off. College football would end, and then you didn't have football on Saturdays, and then you get used to that, and then Sunday. Like now, it's just the way the NFL sets it up. It's really abrupt, and I'm definitely like having withdrawals, having to play with my kid, and it's just annoying.
Oh, yeah, that's brutal.
On the weekend,
hanging out with your
Wait,
kid.
you have to play with your kid?
I had to play with them and take them to the
brutal.
park, and I can't. I don't have an excuse to just get ripped.
I'm so sorry.
On a Saturday
I'm so
night.
sorry.
Yeah, damn.
It's a tough life.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So
Sorry to hear that.
so Thomas, let's get to the mailbag. What's first up? Oh, finger guns first.
Jeez, we've been trying to get to this mailbag for 15 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, no. No hard hide, Ralph.
No. Oh well. Oh yeah. See. The Taylor Swift and the fear of the drinking has me totally off kilter. Saints Happy Hour viewer mailbag is brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Thomas, that's why you're the best producer on earth, keeping me on track even when I go into the ditch. Hit the finger guns. There we go. Operation Get Morton Anderson on the podcast is not going well, but we'll keep at it, kids.
We're gonna be persistent.
I'll be like Juge. I'll make him block me on the Twitters. Like I'm gonna go for it.
How are we trying to get him?
I tweeted him. I got an email from someone. I'm emailing.
All right, let me think about
You
this.
need to get an address, Ralph.
I need to get send him a post.
I am anticipating that I'm going to be. I'm anticipating that I'm going to be running into Deuce McAllister in April.
Tell him to get
a
Morton on the podcast. Oh wow.
There it is, Andrew. There you go.
I wouldn't give Dave backstage passes to T Swift if he gave me his store in exchange.
Come on! Come on!
And the new MVP leader, we are 10 cents away.
Wow. Wow.
Somebody has to donate 1 bit.
10 cents away.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 10 bits. 10 bits away.
10 bits. I'll do it. What are we gonna do? We're gonna do PB&J or ginger?
Don't you think I should make him drink the ginger? Dave?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, do the ginger.
If I die,
I know you love gingers, Ralph. So
fucking hate ginger.
drink the Andy Dalton.
Ugh.
There it is.
Andrew's dad, 5 buckaroos. And with that being said,
It smells pretty good. Smells like a gingerbread house. Smells nice.
Oh.
I think it's gonna be. But the thing I worry about it because drinking the wormwood and then dropping ginger in my stomach might be bad.
Shut up and drink it.
You're just sucking up to Juge because you want Taylor Swift.
All right, let's see the reaction. Ooh, oh, he doesn't like. Oh, he might puke. Yeah. He's all right. He's all right.
Ooh. Oh,
how was that?
Fuck.
How was it, Ralph?
Ooh. That was a 10. I literally threw
10.
I had to force it back. Oh.
That's a 10? Okay.
10.
Wow, a 10?
So you actually puked.
Yeah, just like in real life, I don't.
say?
Just like in real life, I don't respect the gingers, and I paid a price.
Yeah, I mean, that's karma.
Oh, you have a
Suck
burp
my
and
ass,
worry you're gonna
bitch.
vomit.
I'm hoping that someone will just step up out of nowhere and donate 100 and make you drink another
the
one.
third one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, let's get to the first question.
Yeah. How much do we need for that?
100.
100. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
haven't updated
God.
it, but. Okay,
So,
first question in the meantime, from
in the
Budrich.
between time.
Budrich, what is more important? Banger question, by the way. Drafting a basketball player at tight end or drafting a player with a name that looks like Ralph's cat was on the keyboard?
Basketball player, definitely, because that might actually equate to something good on the field. Your weird name doesn't mean anything.
I mean, they have a lot of weird names, including that Penn State offensive lineman that the Saints will probably burn the second round pick for and move up to 6 and draft him.
You shut your mouth.
I'm just saying that's my lock of the year. When the Giants get on the clock, the Saints will be picking at 6. And it won't be for Jaden Daniels. It'll be for Joe Alt, or that offensive tackle from Penn State that I'll never pronounce his name correctly, even if he plays for the Saints for a decade. I mean, me and Kevin will be doing the draft of names Ralph can't pronounce, and it'll probably be 2.5 hours long. Kevin on the mock drafts is he's out of control, man. It's not even.
He's a menace.
He's not even. It's not even March.
He's a fucking menace, man.
I know.
But the good thing is when you listen to the mock draft, we go through a lot of players. You'll learn a lot of stuff because Kevin does so many of them. He knows the different tiers of the players already. You will learn a lot when we do the mock draft. It's just he's a trade addict. He needs to go to trade.
There's no
trade.
one who does more.
He needs to go to
who does
Trade
more
Down
mocks than Kevin.
Anonymous. So what's next? What's next, Thomas?
I thought you were going to say he
Mock
needs to go to
Draft Anonymous.
trade school.
No, he's already the dean of trade school.
Okay, next question from Aldi Marino, by the way. Tons of questions from Aldi Marino in the mailbag that we'll do after the show. Aldi Marino asks, it seems Doug Marrone will be shown the door by Saints security after being fired. Is Marrone's time with the Saints in the Steve Spagnuolo levels of crapping the bed?
No, not even close. Not even close.
Also, you know what? I'm glad we brought up Steve Spagnuolo because I've been thinking about this a lot. I think about it. Have you not? You don't when you see the Chiefs all the time winning, you don't and you
winning
see
with
Steve
defense.
Spagnuolo.
They're not just winning with Steve Spagnuolo along for the ride. They're winning with defense. It's so annoying.
Let's talk about this. So obviously, what I'm referring to is Steve Spagnuolo's 1 year with the Saints, which happened to be the Bounty Gate, the year that Peyton was out and suspended. That was the Brandon Browner year. It was just a total disaster. 2013, right? Just 2012.
2012.
Total disaster.
Still the most yards ever given up by a team in a season.
Correct. Oh, still really. I forgot that. So how do we feel on all of this now? Like Spagnuolo came from the Giants. He was already successful. He came to us, shit the bed, goes to the Chiefs. He was with another team. I forgot. He was also successful somewhere else.
No. He was a disaster as head coach of the
Where else? No. I'm not talking about head coach. I'm talking specifically as defensive coordinator.
Got it. I think he went straight to the Chiefs after us.
Did he? Okay.
I think so.
And so how do we feel about this? Do we give Spagnuolo a pass because it was the Bounty Gate year and Peyton wasn't here? And do we look back and think what if? And I'm asking these questions because these are the feelings I have. So I guess these are hypothetical questions, but I guess I'm projecting here. But do we look back and think, what if Peyton was here with Spagnuolo? Would it have worked out? Would it have been better? Should he have been given another year more time?
I think that defense that year in particular had awful personnel. I think the players were absolute shit. I'm curious if you would agree. I'm curious if you would agree with that, Dave.
I
do. It was a disaster.
I do to a certain extent, but their safeties in 2012 were the worst safeties at everything. Roman Harper and Jenkins. If you go back in PFF, they were the worst. I remember I wrote a column about it. They were the worst at everything against.
But they weren't even bad players. I think that was. I mean that was probably more coaching.
And then 2013, they were back to being decent again.
Was that Jenkins' first stint or second stint? That was
the first stint. That was his first stint. The thing is, with Spagnuolo,
but if the safeties suck, I'm just saying, what's happening in front of them, because safeties are the last line of defense. I mean, I just want to remind you that
was Bird on that team?
No, that was 2014.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, Bird was but the savior. He was supposed to be.
Didn't they want to run a 3-4 with Spags and the person?
No, that was Rob Ryan. That was a Rob Ryan.
Yeah, it didn't work. And also too, I just think I remember like either Larry Holder or Kat Terrell wrote an article that like the players weren't even listening in meetings and they were just like running whatever they wanted. Like without Sean Payton there really was a sense that it was Animal House with the Saints in 2012. Like it was just the players.
Well, it's not even. I would say it's not even that Sean Payton wasn't there. It was that it was Cromer for a while, and then it was Joe Vitt. Yeah. And Loomis wasn't around for a while. So like
that's right. Loomis was
it was moving chairs even with Sean Payton being gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot Loomis got suspended for 8.
So okay, so I mean, none of you really answered the question. Like, do you wish that Spagnuolo had stayed another year?
No, I detest Spags.
Really?
If they were playing anyone else but San Francisco, I would be rooting for the NFC team. That's how much I hate the fact that they're like, in Spags we trust. I'm like, this motherfucker has the worst defensive NFL history, and I had to watch it. And I went to every one of those home games. Drove in from Houston.
Oh, so you're burned. You're burned by his 1 year at.
Yes, okay. Disgusted. Wow. I'm not over it. And I'm rooting for Kansas City because they're playing the Niners, and that's it. Because
I think Curtis Lofton just missed another tackle.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh my God. how they shut out the Raheem Morris Bucks, I'll never know. But that happened in 2020.
But apparently he's a great hire.
You know me. When I think it's a.
And Dan Quinn also got a job. The NFC South is still alive. It's still alive. Dan Quinn, Raheem
unbelievable.
Morris.
You made fun of me. You made fun of me when I thought Matt Rule was a good hire. I'm scared of the Raheem Morris hire. I saw the press conference. I think he's going to do good things for Atlanta. I hate it.
Anyway,
how is Raheem Morris better than Dennis Allen?
I think just listening to Raheem Morris, he's more energetic. He's better in the press conference, and he seems to be like
I was talking more resume, but yeah.
Like when DA talked about like, what did you learn from the Raiders? Like DA spoke in like generalities and couldn't really answer the question. Raheem Morris had like specific answers about how he was arrogant, how he thought he knew everything, how he didn't listen. Like he had specific things that he's gotten better at, or he thinks he's going to be better at. And I just think it's a completely different thing. So we'll see. I make fun of me, Andrew. You make fun of me to this day about Matt. I thought Matt Rule was a home run hire for the Panthers. So. If I'm wrong about Raheem Morris, feel free to text and text me and tweet the people and mention.
Oh, I'll have no issue doing that.
Yeah, me neither. No, we will. Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So what's next, Thomas?
Next question from Ambush. He asks, if Nick or any other pod wanted to throw hands, who is the number 2 host to take him down? Number 2, because Sean Orleans is obviously the
number
first
1
choice.
I feel we already had a
Ralph's
question
at the
like
bottom
this
of the
not
list.
too long ago. Yeah, we talk about like this is like once a month, and I think it's usually Kevin and then maybe Andrew and then me and then Ralph.
Can I have a weapon?
Yeah, I know. And then I say I give you nunchucks.
Oh man, I mean. We're not looking to. I only have one good arm. We're not looking to fight anybody at the Saints Happy Hour podcast.
So real quick, people have been asking where Kevin is. He's at work tonight. A Nightside person was sick, so he had to step in for that person.
Yeah.
On the love update front, I asked him.
Why does he? Now let me ask. Well, why does he have to? What if he says no?
I'm sure that he gets a favor from the person that he filled in for, or he gets extra pay or something. I don't know. But on the love update, he said, I was supposed to go on a date last night with a nurse. A nurse.
Oh my God. He
said, however, she canceled day of and said she felt, quote, sick. And would let me know later in the week how she's feeling.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And he said, at this point, I have to think these women are just bullshitting me. If you lose interest, just say so.
Here's the thing with Kevin.
I think we're down. I think we're down in the dumps.
Yeah, she just found a better option. That's how it works, guys.
Kevin seems like a day 3 revelation here. Like, Kevin's been at this a long time. Like, He's behind
Here's
the schedule here. If he's just
Kevin
learning
needs
this
to
now.
do two things to fix his life. He needs to stop doing mock drafts where he trades down 7 times.
Mhm.
So me and him are doing 2-hour podcasts. And 2, stop
Be more
dating women in
attractive.
the medical field. Stop with the medical field profession. Doctors, nurses, X-ray techs,
I
nurses,
mean, Ralph,
doctors' assistants, all of them. Stop.
I was gonna say
it's not
either
a
be richer
coincidence
or
there's
be
that
better
many
looking.
nurses, man, on Tinder. It's not a coincidence, man.
What is Tinder? Is Tinder like erdating.com? I don't know. I
Maybe,
haven't-
man. Maybe.
I don't know. Thomas, I've been married since 2010. I ain't been on a dating site since Match.com.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Wait
You're
a-
lucky, man.
Wait a minute.
Count
wait a
your
minute. Wait a minute.
blessings. Count your
Wait a
blessings.
minute.
man.
Wait a minute. I have our final question. This will be the last question.
What about dental? Andrew's dad asked, what about dental? Does that count as a medical?
Yes.
That damn dental.
Anything we have to wear scrubs. I have a question. What is up with Thomas's love life?
That's
Let's get
right.
a Thomas love update. That's our
Then
final
my
question.
love life, I'm forever single, man. Hitting Tinder.
I had some.
Okay, wait. Hold on. You could okay. That's fine. You could be forever single, but Kevin's going out on dates and
Me
meeting
too.
people, and but this is what we want to know. This is what we want. Are you going out on dates with men,
no
with
nurses.
women?
I've never been on a date with a
Non-binary?
nurse.
Here,
No, women.
Tom-
I'm totally
Okay.
straight. Totally straight.
Thomas, I have people DMing me on the Discord and in the Twitters that they said they would pay real good money
Yeah.
for a Thomas
For a Polak.
for inside Thomas tier. Like if we would do a podcast and it would just be about
Inside,
your
yeah.
life, details
Hey,
about what
maybe
you
we
do,
will create a
whatever you
tier.
do in Poland, they want to know about it.
I don't think you
big-
guys want to know about
No.
the deep, dark life of Thomas.
I
I'm
think
just-
they,
I'm
they
assuming
do.
That's like the dark web of.
They do.
We don't even know about it.
I'm
They
assuming
do.
like goat milking. I'm
Yeah.
picturing like
They
milking.
do, because here's the thing: like 35% of our listeners don't believe Thomas is real, and so they feel like if we tried to create a tier
Count me in that number.
that he's
Yeah,
not
your
also
boy
about your
Alan
life,
Thomas
AI.
only dates other bots.
He's an AI. He's an AI Polish man.
No, I don't think I don't think he's AI, but I'm pretty sure he's in like Southold, New Jersey somewhere. He's not.
He's in
with
Hoboken.
fake Polish accent.
Yeah.
With fake
he's in
Polish accent.
He's in Hoboken doing
No, you're in-
VPN.
No, I believe you're really Russian. I believe you're really Russian. I mean,
Fuck.
not Polish, not
Cat's
Russian.
out the bag now.
Yeah.
So
Did you
what's
just
next?
confuse Russian with Polish?
Mm-hmm.
Did you just go full Ralph?
Yeah, I
Wow.
went total.
What's
total
next,
wrong.
Thomas?
I mean, you could possibly confuse Russian with Polish. It's a pretty similar language. Okay, last
Well, I know,
question.
but no reason
Last
for me
question.
to do that.
Last question from Who Dat. He asks, will Trevor Malort Penalting be in the league after next season?
Wow.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he will, because it's like Charles Brown, who the Saints picked
Yeah.
up from the Rams. Like he's a first round
Everybody-
pick, and so or it's like Treadwell, the receiver.
Yeah.
He'll get like 1 or 2 more teams that'll
No,
throw
I
him on,
think
on the practice
Trevor-
squad.
He's
and-
going to play in the league. He's going to play in the
Everybody
league.
needs offensive line too.
He's going to play in the league a decade because offensive line play is so bad. It's so bad, and teams will just.
I give him 3 more years, and he's done.
No. Here's the thing with Trevor Penalty, Andrew, and I wanted to ask you this because you know more about tapes and stuff. Like people in the Discord were saying, listen, if the Saints are going to move him, it can't be they're not going to move him to the right side, like because then he has to switch his entire footwork, right? If he
Right.
can't play either left tackle or left guard, it ain't gonna happen in New Orleans, right? Like they're not gonna move him to the right side and be like, hey, you're gonna play right guard now. Like whatever they try to just attempt to do with him, it's left guard or left tackle. Like they're not gonna move him to the right side. Is that fair?
I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, I think for a while what they were trying to do with Pete was play him on the right side at right tackle.
That's true.
And it really wasn't taking. And then, left tackle was spoken for. So they were like, well, let's try him at left guard. And, some guys really struggle with that. And some guys really, struggle with it the same either way. And one side isn't worse than the other. So, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he plays tackle. I think the right move with Penning would be to move him to guard and see if you can make it work there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
What's next?
What's that sound?
That was my wife doing the dishes.
My wife.
Oh, Jesus, so late?
Yeah.
Don't you have the dishwasher or something?
We do, but we don't really
Even
use
I
it.
have it in Poland next to the
Wow.
goats.
No way.
Next to
Next
goats,
to the
man.
goats? Well, I figured the goats were the dishwashers. I figured they lick the dishes. That's how you get them clean.
Andrew's dad is just going full on in the bit. Is an orthodontist assistant, is that considered medical?
Optometrist.
That's fucking illegal.
I think
Optometrist.
Dave is right. If they wear scrubs,
Yeah.
it's medical profession.
Mm.
What's
Crazy.
next, Thomas?
That
That's
was a
it.
final
So what
question.
about a shrink? Can he date a shrink?
They don't
Oh,
wear
that's
scrubs. No. They don't
No,
wear
they don't wear-
scrubs.
He could wear shrink.
Dog
What about
technician.
do chiropractors wear scrubs?
Veterinarian.
They might.
Oh,
Oh, yes. That
What
wears
about a
scrubs.
vets
That
wear
counts.
scrubs.
Yes, vets count.
Vets wear scrubs.
Veterans.
Honestly, that sounds like ideal for Kevin. I mean, he loves dogs. He loves animals. Honestly, a vet seems more up his alley.
I guess not that many vets on Tinder, man.
Thomas, are you the Brad Pitt of Poland? Jason Champagne wants to know.
Almost,
That-
man.
I'm doubting that. I'm doubting that. All right, are we done? Let's
Yep.
We're
do
done.
this mailbag podcast.
We're done. I just want to say thanks to everybody for donating. Thanks for supporting this show. We had a record month on YouTube in January, so thank you guys for that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the show. Please go to saintshappyhour.com.
Hey,
become a
can
patron.
I do the MVP reveal?
Oh,
round?
yeah, I forgot. I'm
Holy
sorry, Thomas.
shit,
I'm
you're
off.
off the race tonight. Like, come on.
No, because one of them is Andrew's dad. One of them is Andrew. Nobody cares.
Because Andrew won.
Go ahead. No, we got to do the MVP. We got to do it out of respect. Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who donated. Tons of generosity. As always, we reached 2 donation goals. Thanks to Ark, Mitch, to Aldi Marinho, to Hudat Goffer, to Budrich, to your boy Alan, to first time donator Wendell Cavalier, to Andrew's dad.
Thank you, Wendell.
To the MVP, straight from Mother Russia, with $56.6.
The sun never sets on the Jewish Empire.
Yeah, exactly. Andre Juge, the one and only. Congratulations.
Thanks to everybody for donating. We appreciate you. And if you're listening to the free version, sign up. We need the support. We love all the people that support us. It helps us grow the show. We have big plans. We can't do this without you. We can't pay Thomas the meats and cheeses and FedExing money to Poland. It's
For the
not
goat
cheap.
feed.
You know, it's not cheap. You know, we gotta have patrons to keep
The goat feed.
to keep the hamster wheel going.
The
you
goat's
know?
happy, man. I need to
That's
buy a new one.
Next week, bacon and
The
cheese.
goat family
crickets.
keeps growing.
Just saying. Thanks for listening. Thanks for
I'm
supporting.
sorry. I blew the surprise, the cricket surprise.
You saved Thomas a lot of work. He was probably gonna like Photoshop my face on a cricket. Now he can just go to
They
bed
fucked
20
up,
minutes. Now he can just go to bed 20 minutes early. So please go to
Sorry, I ruined your Panther party.
Go to saintshappyhour.com. Become a patron and support the show. We can't do it without you guys' support. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Andrew. I'm not thanking Kevin because he made some bullshit excuse about somebody being sick and he had to work, blah, blah, blah. Thomas still is the best producer on earth running the show back in Poland. Remember, kids, if you're going to support the Saints podcast, support the ones that wins awards. And until next time, the bar is closed.
I like the fat head of a cricket on your wall, Ralph.